Welcome to a special edition of Game Changers, everybody. Steve Goldstein along with Samantha Rivera. We are at FLA Live Arena. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Panthers taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, we'll get to the NBA Finals coming up in the show with Mike Cunio and Jim Berry. Looking forward to the Heat and Nuggets in Game number 4. They played Game 3 last night. But, Samantha, let's get onto the ice here where the Panthers will try to get this series turned around here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you believe it, though? The first time in 27 years that a Stanley Cup final game is being played here in Sunrise. I mean, it's incredible. Especially for, fans like you and our producer, George. Like, he couldn't believe it. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's been quite a run for the Panthers. And, it's been on the back of Sergei Bobrovsky. He was unbelievable from late in the Boston series all the way through the Eastern Conference Final. Won 11 of 12 games. Samantha, basically, they could not get a puck by this guy.
Yeah.
But the Vegas Golden Knights, they've got a terrific offense. They've scored the most goals in these playoffs and 12 goals in the first 2 games of the series. You were out there in Vegas watching it.
I mean, it was incredible, right? Just to watch, for them to figure out a way to get past this guy. Because like you said, he was incredible up to that point, right? And even in that first game, they were tied at 2 after the second. And then he allowed the 3 goals, right? Tough to watch. But then that second game, even worse to watch, right? 4 goals through 2 periods. I mean, you knew the night was done for him at that point. In came Alex Lyon, and he allowed 3 goals after that. Just really tough to watch for everybody. And I think the team, right, it's easy to say, after 10 days, we're going to be fine, right? It's a good mindset to have, but I think we saw that it definitely affected them, right?
Yeah, maybe so. That's a long layoff, and Vegas was certainly ready. They're playing great hockey. Give them credit. They got screens out in front. That was their scouting report. Sergei Bobrovsky coming into this series, if he was seeing it, he was stopping it. So they got some screens out in front. I think the Panthers can do a better job at clearing some of those lanes. They'll also need Matthew Tkachuk, number 1, to stay on the ice. I'm not sure that's all his fault. The officials, got him for some misconducts that, were a little shaky there. But Tkachuk and his line has to be a real big factor in this game in order for the Panthers to get back in the series.
Right, and the team has said, right, they're going to keep playing their physical style of play, right? And I think that's great and all until it gets you in trouble and you can't execute, right? So hopefully, they'll figure out a way to change things here tonight.
The Vegas offense, you got Jonathan Marchessault, who really got his start, ironically enough, when the Panthers picked him up from Tampa many years ago. He scored 30 goals. They left him unprotected in the expansion draft. He's one of the original misfits, they call him, out in Vegas. They were all picked in expansion drafts. Other people let him go, led by Marchessault. This is a tough offense and a deep offense, and they're getting offense from their defense right now, too.
Yeah, it's been incredible, again, to watch that Vegas team do what they do and see them, thrive in these games. And especially, in Vegas, they put on a show, right? And it's easy to see why the players can feed off of that energy. So, again, hopefully the Panthers can figure out a way to change things here.
Yeah, and, getting those defensemen into the attack. Zach Whitecloud had the game-winning goal in the first game. They get a couple of goals from the blue line in Game 2, so that's certainly something the Panthers are going to need to shut down. And, Paul Maurice has been doing this for 25 years. Samantha, we've been at those press conferences. It is always entertaining. We probably don't look forward to a coach press conference more than we do right now with Maurice, but he's got to make probably some adjustments in this game here tonight to get the Panthers going.
Right, but it's really awesome to see too, a head coach have as much faith as he does still in this team, right? Even in Bob, right? To see him, talk so highly of him, right? He still has a lot of belief in this team. So yeah, definitely some interesting press conferences to say the least.
Yeah, some good analogies by Paul Maurice, a real smart guy and a good hockey guy. And it's interesting because he's had faith in his team really all season long. Remember, the first half of this season, it did not look good for the Panthers. And, you look at what went on in the middle of the year when they were 9 points out of a playoff spot. And he just kept that faith and said, hey, what we're doing, what we're trying to implement is what's needed to win in the playoffs. And here we are 100 games in, and they're still playing hockey.
Yeah, it's crazy to see. And he has even said, with the shared dog bone, he's like, I know nothing about that, right? I just kind of let the guys do their thing in the locker room. So he kind of lets this group just, stay closely knit. And he obviously likes what he sees, and he knows what he's doing, guiding them through all of this.
The dog bone. We should get a dog bone.
We should.
At CBS News Miami, pass it around the sports office a little bit. All right, George, get on that.
Maybe not that part. Maybe
not that
fighting.
part.
No.
We'll just award it and hold on to it.
Exactly.
We got more coming up on Game Changers. We check in on the NBA Finals. Yes, South Florida is the sports haven of America right now. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Game Changers. Jim Barry here along with Mike Cunha at the Kaseya Center. And Mike, it was pretty ugly in Game 3.
It certainly was.
Man, you talk about the Nuggets' two big stars. They both had triple-doubles. We're talking about Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, and that was double trouble for the Heat.
Yeah, so far this series has been a game of adjustments. Last night, the Denver Nuggets had the better adjustments. Inside the locker room, a lot of the guys talking about intention. They didn't play with enough of it, enough force. And you can definitely tell, just look at the rebounding disparity, about 25 more rebounds in the Nuggets' favor. And that was the big difference in the game, aside from their two stars having a couple triple-doubles. No big deal.
Yeah, and look, the Heat certainly had their chances in this one. Only down 5 at halftime, and even though they didn't play particularly well, but the offense got choppy, and really in the third quarter, the Nuggets just took over this game.
Yeah, offensively and defensively, the Heat offense all out of whack. Remember Game 1, they were pushed around a little bit, but we're still able to get those shots off. This time, not so much. Essentially no second chance offense for Miami this entire game. And get this, in the first half, there was about a dozen missed shots from within 5 feet. That started to pile up and ends up being a huge difference in this game because, as you mentioned, started that third quarter, they go on a big run, and the game was essentially over.
Yeah, and it was pretty obvious that the Nuggets weren't going to let the Heat get those wide-open looks from 3. And so that was an invitation for the Heat to push it inside and punch it inside. And they tried, but, boy, they kept missing time and again.
Size is an issue. You know, in the locker room, Gabe Vincent mentioned every series so far, size has been an issue for this Heat team, and this might be the biggest size disparity so far for them in the postseason.
Yeah, so the Heat has to figure out how they can regroup in this one, and you look for answers here, and I'm not quite sure what they can do. You know, I mean, Denver knows they have the size advantage.
Right.
They know they've got right now the two best players on the floor in Jokic and Murray, so it's really up to the Heat, and I'm going to point the finger squarely at Jimmy Butler. It's time for him to step up and be Superman to instill some confidence in this team.
He got up to a good start early. He needed to sustain it for the entire night because obviously the offense wasn't in a flow. And we've seen in the past, even the regular season, postseason in the past, when that offense becomes stagnant, that's when he can take over a game and put this team on his back.
Yeah.
We're not seeing that. And on top of that, this team lives and dies with shot making. And tonight, again, below 40%. And when they're below that 40% mark, they have not fared well in the postseason.
You look at Nikola Jokic, and the strategy was in Game 2 to let him get his and try to hold everybody else down. What happened to that in this game?
Well, he got his. The problem was Jamal Murray didn't disappear. Game 2, he was gone for the better part of 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Really kind of came on there in the fourth. But he gets a triple-double as well. So when both of those guys eat like that, they're hard to stop. I mean, looking at the score, they probably could have taken the Heat solo tonight, just those two on the court. But yeah, it's you got to take at least one of them away. If you can't figure that out, it's going to be a long series.
Boy, I tell you what, that guy Jokic, I mean, he lumbers out there, doesn't look graceful at all, and I'm sure he's heard this a million times, but he's got such a soft touch, and he's got great court vision, so he does everything you want a basketball player to do.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's so big, and the rebounding is gonna be a problem just because he's about 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's a unique player, and there's no answer truly for him in the NBA.
All right. Enough of praising the Nuggets, though. Let's talk about the Heat. I know. And look, Bam Adebayo playing his absolute heart out. This is a series, though, you really wish that he had a twin. If they had another big guy, then maybe things would look more even after this game.
It's funny. Saw PJ Tucker in the hallway after the game and thought, man, a guy about his size right now who could help box out
or bigger,
down low or bigger, and who can hit some of these corner threes when wide open.
Yeah.
Could have definitely used him. I think that's where you see maybe the whole team running back is hurting Miami at this point, just because the size disparity. Now they have Cody Zeller and Kevin Love, but those guys can do so much.
Yeah. Well, look, let's not count the Heat out yet, because this team has been written off many a time during the season and in the postseason, and they bounce back. So let's see if they can do it again Friday in Game 4. The challenge for the Heat: even this thing up at 2-2 and make it best 2 out of 3 with 2 of those 3 games, if they can pull that off, to come in Denver. So we'll see what they can do, Mike.
I will say this, they do have some veteran experience on their side. Don't forget, Kevin Love was on a Cavaliers team that was down 3-1 in the finals, came back and won. they do have some of that experience in the locker room who could at least keep them even keeled. We saw after that Game 1 loss, they were still pretty loose at practice in Denver, and they came out and got the job done. We'll see if they can do it again in Game 4.
All right, Kevin Love, give them the motivational speech they need.
Dig deep.
Exactly.
Deep.
That's the story here with the Miami Heat. For Mike Cunha, I'm Jim Barry. Let's throw it back to you guys with more of Game Changers.
It is absolutely wild, it's insane, and it is absolutely the most significant day in all of South Florida's sporting history.
That is Ray Hudson, longtime South Floridian, soccer aficionado, coach, broadcaster. And yes, as we continue here on Game Changers, you know, we heard about this for a few years, Samantha, but till it actually happened, Lionel Messi going to play for Inter Miami in South Florida, just shockingly, really, and reverberating, I should say, throughout the sports world.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is going to do wonders, right, for the sport of soccer here in the United States. He said, you know, after he won the World Cup with Argentina, he was ready to leave Europe. You know, regardless of whatever happened with Barcelona, he was ready to leave, and he really wanted to experience soccer in a different way here in the States. He still obviously wants to win, just be a little more relaxed, right? Get out of the spotlight.
100%, and it's going to be real interesting to watch him. He comes in, he's the best player in the league for sure, as he'll walk in here. Now, it is incredible what's gone on really the last 48 hours. Inter Miami has more than 5.2 million Instagram followers.
Jeez.
That is more than any baseball team, basketball team. It's more than the entire league put together now. It's Messi mania.
Yeah, oh no, absolutely. I mean, again, he is bringing so much star power here to the States. It's going to be incredible. I can only imagine how crazy, you know, that stadium is going to get and overfilled with fans, right? Everybody's going to want to go to those games.
Yeah, and you look at the tickets, I believe, you know, and there's speculation on when he's going to actually come here and play, but I guess people are trying to figure it out. So the week before, the speculation is where he won't be on the team yet. It's like $20 to get in.
Right.
The following week, it's like $450 to get in. Tickets are off the charts.
Yeah, no, it's going to be crazy. I think we have one of the luckiest jobs in the world to be able to, you know, go into those games. We don't have to pay, so are those fans. But I mean, yeah, it'll be figured out.
You better put in for those media credentials soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, there's other ticket that, you know, reverberating throughout the league, and you know, he will get a piece of the team's online streaming television package. That is unprecedented.
Right.
He'll get part of the kits that they sell, and supposedly the Inter Miami jersey will be the most expensive. Charlotte FC, and again, these teams don't know when Messi's actually going to play. They sold 10,000 tickets yesterday. Chicago sold 7,000 tickets for a potential Messi appearance. People are just loving this.
I mean, it's really creative the way that they tried to get him over here, right? Of course, this is not anything official, but it's what we've heard, and there's not even a formal agreement, right? But he has told us, yes, he plans to come here. So to see the way that they were able to kind of bring him here and then see all those tickets be sold, it's like we're in for a pretty good time.
It is amazing. Once we get those dates, it'll be even more. Now, you see I have a little bit of separation from you here as we're doing this from a game. That's because Ms. Rivera is one tough customer. That is coming up next on Game Changers. The news around the world, our own Samantha Rivera. I am prepared. I got the Carter Verhaeghe gloves in case I got to give her a little face wash or maybe a little celebration. Unbelievable. I mean, you were poised, and you just said, I'm not putting up with this, and you just gave that guy the old stiff arm.
You know what? It's funny. People ask me, did you expect to react that way? I'm like, I don't know how I was going to react. Like, I didn't expect to be in that position at all, you know? But it just kind of, the arm just kind of came out, and I was like, this isn't going to happen. Like, we work way too hard to be, you know, in this position, and to have somebody try and mess that up, it's like, I would never try to go into somebody else's workplace and try to mess up what they're doing. So we just ask for a little respect. That's all.
Good for you. And the Panthers came by. They were all on board
So
with your
nice.
toughness. I mean,
the sweetest.
We got some things for you here. You got,
look at this.
You know, you got the hat. Okay.
Got the helmet.
We got the
right?
helmet. You want to put the helmet on just in case later? Here, I'll hold the hat for you. We got this. It's all set here on Game Changers. Yeah, this is how we. There we go. Samantha's all ready.
This is embarrassing, but yeah, this is how you guys find out I have a really big head.
You look like an old school hockey player. That's it. And they got you the regular hat that you can just wear around.
Let me just put that one.
Yeah, just put this one on. This one's a little better. See how nice I'm being too? I don't want to get stiff armed. I don't want to get shoved.
I know.
I mean, I should have shoulder pads.
People know
I
better.
do know better now. There you go.
All right,
your cup ready.
Better. Yeah. No, we're all ready here. But seriously, shout out to the Panthers team here. Like, they are the sweetest group. They didn't have to do this, so it was very nice of them.
Here, you put the gloves on. These are Carter Verhaeghe's, by the way. I think he got wind of it, and he heard that, you know, you could give some minutes on the fourth line.
I know,
you know,
honestly.
These referees keep calling it 10-minute misconduct.
I'm open to it, whatever the guys need, you know.
Now, we're not expecting any of this activity here at home.
No.
Everyone's going to leave you alone here at home.
Yeah, I think, again, they know better.
They know better.
They know better. I think they're going to think twice about trying to mess with us.
Everybody's learned their lesson. All right, we picking a Panthers home victory to send you back to Vegas?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? I think the guys are really going to bounce back tonight. I think Bob is going to show us why he's Bob the brick wall again, right? So it's going to work out tonight.
All right, and you look great. You're all geared up.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Always fun. That'll do it for this very special edition of Game Changers. We'll see you next time, everybody.